Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Once again, it's JoyToy Warhammer 40k time. And you can see I've got the 3 Ultramarines Primaris Eradicators here. So I'm going to try and butcher the names. So on the far left, we have Primaris Eradicator Marson Gage would work, maybe Gage also. In the middle, Primaris Captain Tyanos Theo maybe, and on the right, Primaris Eradicator Branes Ventan, which is not too difficult to say. It says on the front on each box that they are 12 centimeters tall, and if I remember, we will check that later. On the back of the boxes, and someone asked me this, do they have helmeted heads? Not that's shown in the contents. But, you know, there may be something inside, but I doubt it. I don't even think there will be name cards inside. They seem to have stopped those all together now as well. This one's sponsored by Tyson Fury. And on the last one, Branes Ventan, probably the only one I will say correctly, or nearly correctly. We see it again. Okay, so I'm going to set these up, and if you like this sort of content, please consider joining the Patreon. There's a link in the top right of your screen. Now, also in the video description, and in the video description below, you can find discount codes for 3 of the top sellers for JoyToy and 1/18 scale in general stores. Recommended, and as discount codes, you just click on the link to go into the shop and shop as normal. And hopefully you can get some bargains. Okay, let me just set these up and I'll be back in an instant. Here they are, and yes, it's good news. They all come with helmeted heads, which were not shown on the back of the boxes. They look absolutely fantastic. This is one sort of a... this is a lot of firepower that you don't want to be facing. They do look really, really good. They all come with 4 alternate hands. So you have... left hand fist, right hand gripping. Let's get a bit of focus going on there. And you have 2 more left hands, the same as seen before, open, and the 2 fingers. And the helmeted heads look pretty cool. And then the unhelmeted heads we saw on the boxes, have a look again. Rather mean, I quite like that one. And then the captain. Pretty cool. And then the last one here, again pretty cool. Nice looking figures. Couple of minor issues before we have as we take a close look. The first thing is the rubber tubing, which all the guns have on the back, looks absolutely amazing, but it adds so much resistance to the gun that it was always trying to pull the gun back down. Also, the handles for the trigger handle should be a little bit thinner. You see the fingers are barely gripping. This is the one time, or one of the few times I should say, when those really stiff fingers in Body 2.0 are working out nice, because they do grip on well. If they were more loose or not as stiff, he'd be letting go of that handle all the time. Looks really cool. This handle at the top is jointed, so it folds flat and comes up, which is good. Nice drilled barrel there. You see the helmeted looks pretty cool. Looks a bit like is it the Aggressors? I think I'm trying to remember. Looks a bit like the Aggressors. Very, very cool. These are fantastic looking figures. Oh, he's got like sort of high heels as well. Look at that. Height of fashion. Is that a Cuban heel? Make him look taller. The captain. Again, nice draw barrel. Tyson Fury fan we can see there. Again, you can see he's just gripping on by his forefinger and his thumb there because they're so tight. Quite hard to hold it nicely. But I did rush the setting up. Very nice looking. Very, very bulky. And then the last guy's got the is it a double flamer, it looks like, perhaps. Oh, he's got the double barrel anyway. Looks very, very mean indeed. In fact, he's got the most rubber cables, and yet he holds his gun the nicest. Or I found it easiest, rather, to pose with the gun. Maybe I should copy his pose with the others, but the arm further back. Looks very, very nice. Indeed. let's get an idea of size. They say 12 cm. Obviously, that's going to be to the top of the Marine, not the top of the backpack, particularly on the one on the far left. So to the top of the head, they say 12. That is wrong. I'm saying 12 and a half. About 12 and a half to the top. And top of the backpack on him is about 15 and a half, give or take. These guys to the top, again, is around 12 and a half. Top of the backpack is around 13 and a half, 14 on these two here. Very, very cool. I'll do the size comparison. That was not even focused. I've got to show you again. I'll do the size comparison in a moment. Let me just quickly measure it again so you can just see. But before I do the size comparison, I want to look at the articulation. Now, if I keep the backpacks on, it's going to, and with the guns, it'll be like really bad articulation. I will use. He was the easiest, but then he's going to have probably the least articulation because of his backpack. Let me use this guy here. Okay, so I will take his gun out of his hand here, just out the top, and then out there. These two, him and the captain, come with the knife, so you can see, just here, the knife does come out of the sheath, which you can see there. Push back in. Keep his backpack on. So arms got all around. These arms are semi-ratcheted, or ratcheted I should say, because they need to hold up something heavy. The nozzles on the backpack, do these one, they turn? I wasn't quite sure they would in this one. He can look left and right. There's not really an up or down or side to side. Bicep will depend on, let's do shoulders. Shoulders, yeah, not great. You know, it's just pretty much, look, I work out pose. That's as far as he gets. Biceps, if you get to the right place, if you can get to the right place, he will get 90 degrees or slightly more. There is the bicep swivel. They've got the fantastic wrist articulation of the double barbell. He's got really good trunk. Look at that. That is amazing. Forwards, backwards, a little bit side to side can turn. And he's got waist for turn, but the waist doesn't add anything really to the side or backwards. Hips, further one side than the other, but it's not great. There's a swivel. So double kneecap, but that little pipe at the back prevents it going further. The foot have a turn. They have a, I'm about to say a good tippy toe. They have a tippy toe, they have a dorsiflexation, and they have a swivels and a ball joint. So it's decent. Just the shoulders again are what are letting the Body 2.0 Space Marines down. Now to put the gun in, all I did, in fact, let me just put this down a bit so you can see. It's not the best way. You may want to soften his hands up first, as I just get the handle and I force through the forefinger and thumb to its in, and now I know his thumb and finger will grip it. Then the other side, I just put the handle through the bottom of his hand until it goes through the thumb and finger at the top. And then from there, I will try and pose it, which is not easy because the gun has so much resistance in the actual tubing, which is a shame. So it's quite easy to have it going down, but we want to shoot people up there, so that's the hard part. Okay, let's get it back up. Let's get the focus going on. Let's have a quick size comparison. I've got space. Let me go back a little bit. One, okay, I've got space to compare with 3 figures there. So I use a Victrix guard first, which is Ultramarines. Again, he's semi-posed. And you see that they are more bulky than him. Get something a little bit similar in terms of bulk and firepower. I'll get one of the Black Legion here from Chaos. And then I'll get my Mishmash 40k Orc Commando made from 2 different ones, because the other parts I used to make an Age of Sigma Orc. And you see that they are much more bulky and bigger than the Orcs. They are absolutely fantastic looking. Some of the best looking in terms of aesthetics. In terms of toy, not so much, perhaps. Again, because you're catching the detail using the thick rubber, it looks really good. But it does have its drawbacks in the sense that you can't get as a good articulation as you would like, or hold the weapons perhaps as well as you'd like. Good all-round figures. They again are going to really add to your Ultramarines display or 40k display that you've got going on in your house, in your room, wherever. Okay, if you like sort of content, again, please consider joining the Patreon, link in the video description below. Also, in the video description below, there are discount codes or discount links for 3 recommended sellers who sell JoyToy and also other brands too. So it's worth checking them out in case you can get a bargain. Please subscribe to this channel, smash that notification bell icon so you don't miss a new video as soon as it's published. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next one. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.